First and foremost, this is a very unique opportunity. The fact that both of you are sitting together, that has to be really important and special for both of you to be talking about the World Cup together for the first time. Just talk about the emotions around doing something like this today.
Well, I've been sitting with Joshua for 29 years, so that part of it's not unique.
Yeah.
But talking about the World Cup together is. So I'm going to let you go first time.
Yeah, it's incredibly special. Having the opportunity to work with your dad is certainly very unique, but is something that I incredibly cherish every single day. Having the opportunity to learn from him, learn from so many other of our business leaders as well, is a real treasure for me and something that I do not take for granted. And I love every moment. And it's exciting that we get to talk about the World Cup, a global event, the most watched sporting event in the world, and the fact that we're bringing it here to Atlanta for 8 matches and getting to showcase the city, the state, and everything that Southern hospitality means is something that we're really looking forward to.
And if memory serves me well, the two of you have been to a World Cup together, correct?
Right.
What was that experience like? Arthur, you can start with that.
Well, we went to the World Cup in Brazil. It was U.S. versus Belgium. Tim Howard, as Josh reminded a few minutes ago, 16 saves. So it was an incredible match. But the atmosphere was first my exposure to World Cup, and it was unbelievable. And so I'm so excited to be part of the host committee, or part of the host group to bring the World Cup to Atlanta. And Atlanta continues to grow beautifully and do an unbelievable job in all these big events, whether it be sporting events or other events. When I moved here in '78 with less than 1 million people living here, there's over 8 million people living here now. And downtown Atlanta has become something very, very special, buoyed by a lot of things, including the Olympic Games in 1996 and all of the events we've held, national games, college games, playoff games, Final Fours, Super Bowls, all of that in our stadium. And to be able to launch soccer in our stadium in 2017, and now a women's club joining us in 2028, is really unique. And have the connection we do with the U.S. Soccer Federation, which is doing their ribbon cutting this coming Thursday, May 7th. So soccer has become a major part of our life, and World Cup will be an opportunity to share in that with 211 countries throughout the world. I mean, they're projecting, depending on which numbers you want to believe, but somewhere between 4 to 6 billion. I mean, over half the population of the Earth will watch, some part of the 104 matches that'll be on amongst the 48 clubs that'll compete. So it's a very exciting time for Atlanta.
Josh, for you to spend your entire life loving soccer, playing soccer, being a part of the game, now to being a part of the world's biggest sporting event in your backyard, what does that mean for you?
Incredibly exciting. I go back to when I was a kid growing up, watching the Premier League on Saturday mornings, watching the 2006 World Cup when I was 9 years old, the 2010 World Cup, South Africa, watching the Landon Donovan moment when he scored the goal against Algeria to advance to the next round. To go full circle, to be a part of hosting the World Cup, to me it's how can we recreate those moments within the stadium, at the Fan Fest and Centennial Olympic Park and other adjacent viewing parties, those moments that inspire the next generation to want to be soccer players, to want to be soccer fans, and how can they do it within their communities, with their families, with their friends, to really have those forever lasting moments similar to what I had as a kid and what the sport brought to me as a youth and with my family and friends.
It's hard to explain to people that have never experienced a World Cup just the magnitude and the impact that it has. But you guys have both been there. You've been a part of it before.
Right.
Arthur, what do you think the impact will be on Atlanta once it's here?
Well, I think Atlanta will show off just in the most brilliant ways. I mean, Josh used the term, Southern hospitality earlier, and I think all of that will be true here. I mean, people will feel extraordinarily welcomed. The airport's, busiest, probably best in the world. Welcome downtown, just a handful of minutes away by public transportation or by Uber or whatever it may be. And then they're into hotels and restaurants and, all kinds of activities, the National Center of Human Rights, Civil and Human Rights, and World of Coke and the largest aquarium in the world that my partner Bernie Marcus built many years ago. All of that is within walking distance, which is a beautiful thing for guests that are coming from out of town. So they're going to have a great experience inside the building, outside the building. If they're in the building, they're going to find the same welcome home atmosphere. They're going to find the same commitment to food and beverage values, which starts with low pricing, quality, quantity, et cetera. So I think they're going to walk away from Atlanta saying, we need to come back here and visit more often. We got to consider moving here. The companies are moving here like crazy and are staying here, and we want to be part of that going forward. And part of that kicked that off was the Olympics, certainly in '96 in Atlanta. Did a brilliant job in '96, and we continue to do a brilliant job in hosting major events of all sorts.
Josh, you've watched soccer grow here in Atlanta over the years, especially with the birth of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, with all of the things you both have mentioned coming to Atlanta. This is now the epicenter of soccer right here in Atlanta. How much do you believe that it can continue to grow, even though we are, as we talk about, the epicenter here now in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think the sky's the limit. You see the popularity of soccer, both men's and women's, around the world. You see the growth of popularity of both the MLS and NWSL here. It'll only continue to grow. Youth participation has always been at a high for soccer, both on the men's and the women's side. Always people were playing. It's now about how are those individuals, when they grow up playing the sport, having those heroes to grow and inspire them for the next generation. And I think having the World Cup provides an opportunity for that young boy or girl who's watching a match and seeing the chance to, hey, that could be me in 10, 15, 20 years, and I could play for Atlanta United or NWSL Atlanta 2028 and represent my hometown team. Getting chances like that happen few and far between, and it's about how can we make the most of this opportunity to really continue the growth, but ultimately accelerate the growth of popularity. But I think the sky's the limit of the sport. It's accessible, it's community driven. The values that soccer teaches you are fantastic, and everyone wants to be involved with it.
I'm sure you had similar thoughts when you were sitting there watching when you went to the World Cup, right?
Yeah. I think I knew what my ceiling was as a player at least, and that I was never going to be a pro, but one could always dream in the backyard as I was maybe kicking the ball into net thinking I was scoring a World Cup goal, but realistically that was never going to be the case.
But you're still involved, and now you have a hand in the World Cup, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And now you think about U.S. soccer having a home for the first time ever in its existence, over 100 years. How incredible is that it's coming here, and why was that so important for you to make that happen?
Well, it's, as you said, I mean, we have the one team here, Atlanta United, which has been incredibly successful and holds all kinds of attendance records in the history of MLS. And MLS as a league continues to grow in the world, and an opportunity to NWSL, which is the #1 women's league in the world, to be able to participate in that in 2028. But then the opportunity, when we made a decision in December 2025 to be able to become a major partner to U.S. Soccer Federation at their training grounds here, it was unbelievable to me at the time that they actually had never had a home. I mean, they had an office, but not a home, and never had training facilities and grounds and what have you. Now we have a 200-acre facility just to the south of Atlanta, 103 acres, I think, are being developed. There are 330,000 feet under roof, and it's going to be a blessing to be part of the 27 national teams that play there, and in all forms and fashions, whether it be coaching, training, teaching, creating an atmosphere for young people to grow in the game, et cetera. And for us to be a partner of that is beautiful, and to have it here in Atlanta, to your point earlier, is that that further cements the position that we have as the epicenter of soccer in North America. And so for me, to make the decision, it was an easy decision. They had a big deck. They had a 2-hour presentation. In the first 5 minutes, I knew we were going to do it because it needed to be done. And I feel blessed on behalf of Atlanta to have the opportunity to make that investment and to help convince them to consider Atlanta to be their home. And I think whether it be for the World Cup or any soccer growth and activities in the future, it's going to be a tremendous part of the vision for Atlanta.
Perfect. Well, we're excited for everything that has to do with the World Cup and the U.S. soccer team coming here, having its base here. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.